Hey everyone, in this video we're reviewing the latest reforged map, Liberty Falls. The last time the game map was in the game, it was limited to tier 8, but when it was added this time, it has been added up to tier 10s, or battle tiers 11 or 12. This map is pretty small, 800 by 800, and is essentially a tank destroyer map. Very limited you can do as a light tank, or a medium, or even heavy, except just be the super passive. So the key position, if you're a TD or a top tier medium, is you can just play K1 or A1 depending on your spawn, and that's about it. You can play it in a TD, you can play it anything with camo enough pen. Obviously you can't play in a light tank because you will not be able to pen the tanks. Obviously you have the camo, but you can't pen the tanks. But as you can see, Leopard or any tier 10 medium has enough medium and camo, or any TD, they can just play it. Very strong position, and basically you can annoy any heavy tanks who try to be aggressive. Obviously you need someone playing forward, like my heavy tanks that are playing, to keep them lit up so I can farm, as both these positions are high ground, so you're always shooting down on them. You have a great advantage, and you can easily find the line of sight just because of the hill. So looking over the other side of the map, 8, 9, again TD friendly. You can play A9 or you can play K9 to hold if anyone pushes 8 or 9 line, but you can't really push the 9 line because once you get to F9 from either side or E9, you will get outspotted by the TD guarding those lines and just get farmed. I tried playing heavy in that position and I was basically stuck and I was getting farmed. Just how overpowered, or how strong a camo is on our tanks. So that doesn't work either. If you're in a light tank, you can probably play the H line from south spawn and D line, just providing support and vision, but don't go in the water. You get stuck there and easily die. Early on, light tank has to be very careful as well. They have to passive scout because active scouting is not something you can get away with this in map. We're hearing a lot of complaints from players that this tank should be, or the map should be limited to tier 8 just because how small it is. It is 800 by 800, and then it is there are not many areas you can go in a light or in a heavy. The heavy tanks, the only position is you can kind of hold the B line where our team is doing. But once again, that team that is more defensive, the heavy tanks that are more defensive on their side, just holding, will survive longer. Their heavies try to be more aggressive and just get farmed, but our heavies are kind of holding more carefully, or the more defensive position, they survive. And that's like the only spot you can do. Sometimes teams would leave 1-2, and that's an insta loss. So not many options for heavy. Like heavy can't play K9 either. They can kind of set up on the 8 line, but then again they have to wait for the enemy teams to push the 8-9 so that you can fight with them. But you can always go back through JK line. Your tank destroyer and mediums or any mobile tanks can go back. The bridge on the 8 line is very tempting, but not a good play early on because, as I said, you just get stuck. You can't get out of the bridge without taking a lot of damage. You can use it to cross late game, but early game, just stay away from the 8 line bridge. Stay away from the EF line between 3 and 7, and that's essentially like the most OP spot is K1, A1, and your second strong spots are A9, K9, or B9, J9 watching the 8 line, and then you can play H or D line, but that's about it. It's not a very flexible map. And now coming back to the tank, Leopard was buffed again and now has 420 alpha with premium APCR going 1600 meter per second shell velocity. Already had a great camo or again gun handling, but the gun handling was buffed as well. And essentially our Leopard, now it was already a very good tank, and I've said it again and again, but now it's even better because I can just load premium all the time. You will lose silver if you do that, however, but that's not an issue for me. But you will not miss as many shots because of better shell velocity, and since you're always fire premium, you'll just go through tanks. As you saw, I went through E4's hatch multiple times, as well as Pen Mouse's mantle earlier when we were fighting. And this is the must. It was already a must-have tank earlier, but it is definitely a must-have tank because now it is one of the top tanks, or not. I mean, it obviously doesn't have armor, right? But for me, it is definitely the best tank for pubs. Might even see some comp action now if you kind of want to use a medium for a TD role, but don't want to sacrifice the mobility. But another thing that was buffed in this tank was the rotation, as well as base accuracy. Not that it needed, but it is even more accurate than it ever was. And as you can see, I just love playing this tank because it maintains the same DPM. Actually, it's a little bit more DPM, so you have to expose less while having 420 alpha instead of 390. So I can now outtrade most mediums. I can snipe more effectively. It is the best sniper, like ultra super duper sniping medium, and a beautiful tank. So do let me know about the Liberty Fall position. Maybe there's another position I missed that you think or works for you guys, as well as how you like Leopard buff. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.